On the 30th of April 2020, I released my next, or published my next video on YouTube, and this one was actually inspired by basically this show right now, this radio room. I was doing a sponsored walk up Snowdon. In total, we raised over £200 for the hospital radio. I originally took my phone up there, just an iPhone 6, that's all it was, nothing fancy. But what happened, and maybe I shouldn't have said the name because the next bit's a bit like, ooh, and that is the camera, the battery even. Being my phone's battery, yes, when I got higher up the mountain, so closer to the top, the cold temperature was basically really having an attack on the phone's battery. It was going down quickly, and I do mean from 80% to 60 to 40 to 30, and then suddenly to just not wanting to work at all. The battery was dying just so quickly. It was a great day out, but when it actually came down to my photographs, any video footage, it was so limited, especially more on the way back. Because by the time I'd actually got to the top, I was able to take some photos, and I was able to sort of pinch some from friends and family, but when I actually put my YouTube video together, I had very little footage to show people on the route back down. For those that know, of course, Snowdon's here in North Wales. If you're familiar with the mountain, if you're familiar with the tracks, the walks, we went up the pig trail. I think the pig trail's on the south of the mountain. We went up the pig trail first. It was more of a climb, but it was a great climb, don't get me wrong. It was one of the quicker routes up. When we were coming back down, though, we went, I don't think it was the Rangers track. I think it was. I think it's titled another name, but it runs. The one we took is the natural route that a lot of people take, and that's the longest, slowest climb. And it runs parallel to the train line that goes up and down Snowdon. So we came back down that way. It had some great views, but in my honest opinion, someone who likes climbing, likes walking, it was the most boring path. I did prefer the pig trail and the miners walk, well, the miners track at the very beginning. I would happily go back. There were so many routes up Snowdon that I'm sure there is plenty more to see, and naturally, depending on which direction you approach, yeah, those views will be very different. There were some lovely rock pools as well, and it's funny because I did my research the night before, looking at the maps, looking at the trail we were going to take, and some of the people I was with on that day, I was able to tell them what's actually ahead without seeing it. It was over the next rise, and of course, yeah, as we were climbing, there were a few rock pools, and they knew that yes, I had to put in a little time doing a little bit of research before walking. But yes, that video is 14 minutes long, to be fair. The video I uploaded to YouTube. It is a long video, and most of the time I am waffling, but if you want to see Snowdon, I did take some lovely photos. I won't lie, it's not the most popular video I've ever uploaded, but it was another, I like walking, so it was another passion. It was something else I'm interested in, and again, something else I thought I'd upload very early in my journey on YouTube, don't get me wrong. We will move on from that. On the 9th of May, my next video was back into the model railway, so of course back down the cabin. I had at this point decided that I am going to change up the track, change up the entire train layout. I just wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I put together a video and basically went through things. It was another video around 14 minutes long, and of course featured trains running and conversations about the model railway, about track plans, about maybe adding, taking away. It really was a good jumble of what will I do with the model. Naturally, because I'm now appealing to a wider audience, I knew there would be many more voices. I wasn't taking it as serious as I started to, and of course it was a fictional layout that I was building at the time compared to what I was starting more recently. Okay, on the 18th of May, me and my mother both put together a video titled into the polyhouse. Now this video came out over 6 minutes long in total. We both talk about our little garden project, because this is just a small, it's like a greenhouse, but you know, like more of a polyhouse. And as it was built through lockdown, so naturally, again, we're at home, we're using up garden materials, and only a few things we had to actually buy in, but everything basically started, you know, evolving since lockdown. Naturally, everyone's buying, you know, panic buying, and including, you know, food, drink, but of course there's a mass sale in toilet rolls, if you remember. Maybe that was just here in the UK, maybe that was just here in our local village, but it was a weird thing that just took off. It went kind of crazy. But naturally, we weren't sourcing our own water, don't get me wrong. It was just all food. But it was one of those things we thought, if it really gets worse, it could mean you've got to source your own food to survive. So we did. We put together this polyhouse, and within weeks, of course, started growing things. Well, in the span of weeks, but you know, you plant a seed and naturally it does take time. But yes, it was something that died off the moment lockdown kind of came to an end. Naturally, we're all going back to the stores, aren't we? So the polyhouse project, that idea kind of went out the window because we just stopped using it.